Hey everyone, Sherman the CPA here. Today I want to give you the top 7 money habits to become a millionaire. I was lucky enough to become a millionaire by the time I turned 25 years old, and it would have been impossible to do that without the money habits that I'm about to share with you. Now, everyone has a different relationship with their money. I understand that. But there are some common habits amongst the wealthy that are worth knowing. So if you're ready to learn those habits, go ahead and help us out by liking this video and be sure to subscribe to our channel for even more videos that can help you grow your wealth. All right, money habit number 1, take calculated risks. The wealthy make it a habit to make calculated bets that reward them in the future. You have to take risks if you want to be wealthy. I have not met a single person who grew their wealth without risking their time or their money. Typically, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. But that's only if you are successful. It is a risk after all. For example, I started my first business at 19 years old, and that business became a multi-million-dollar business 5 years later. But if I never took the risk to start my business, I would have never been rewarded with the wealth it provided me. The same applies to investments. Some people are afraid to invest in stocks, real estate, or other types of assets due to market fluctuations in value. But these same types of investments have consistently produced millionaires over time. Now, with that being said, there is no one way to approach risk or investing, but it is important that you understand your way. Understanding your trade-off between risk and rewards is one of the most important keys to building wealth. But just keep in mind that if you don't take any risk at all, it will be extremely difficult to get ahead and build wealth for yourself and your family. Money habit number 2, investing a large percentage of your income. The more money you can invest today, the more wealth you can create in the future. If we looked at wealth as a math equation, there will be 2 parts. Part 1 would be taking your income minus expenses, which equals your savings, which is ideally invested to beat the rate of inflation. And part 2 of this equation would be investments times compound interest over time equals long-term wealth. Therefore, the more you save, the more money you have to invest. And the more money you invest, the more wealth you will create in the future. So if you are trying to accumulate millions of dollars, you need to save and invest a large percentage of your income. You should strive to invest somewhere in the ballpark of 30 to 40% of your income. And if that is not possible, try to invest as much as you can until your income reaches a point where you can afford to invest more. And depending on your circumstances, you may be able to do even more than 30 to 40%. Money habit number 3, use debt to buy assets that pay you. Debt can be a powerful tool for building wealth, but only when used correctly. If you are using debt to buy assets that pays you or appreciates in value, then using debt may be a sound habit to adopt. But if you are using debt to buy assets that depreciate in value or to inflate your lifestyle, then I would exercise caution. Here is an example of how using debt can help you build wealth. Let's say you paid $100,000 cash for some real estate, and let's say it appreciated by 5% to $105,000. If you sold the property right then and there, you would have a 5% gain on your investment of $100,000. But let's say you put $10,000 down in cash and financed the remaining $90,000 of the property. Well, in that case, if it appreciated by this same $5,000, you would have earned a 50% return on your cash investment instead of 5%. And if we took this a step further and say you invested the same $10,000 in 10 separate properties, instead of putting $100,000 into one, then you would have made $50,000 in total return instead of $5,000. Look, this is how the wealthy uses debt. They use it to buy assets that generate more wealth than what they could accomplish with their cash alone. Money habit number 4, don't do too much of anything. When you are dealing with money, be cautious of doing too much of anything because anything can happen. Markets might crash, debt might be recalled, interest rates might rise, and a plethora of other events that no one can predict. That is why it is important to get into the habit of having balance in how you spend and invest your money. You don't want to tie all of your money in one investment or one asset class, because if that one investment fails, well, you're screwed. So it's important to diversify across different types of assets. In the same way, you don't want to have too much debt. In the event of a financial crisis, your lender may recall your debt, or even worse, you may dig yourself in too big of a hole to climb out of. So try to make sure your debt does not exceed your net worth, or at a minimum, make sure that you will be able to pay your debt off before taking more and more on. When it comes to your money, always try to find balance. And balance might look different for everyone, but it is important that you understand what it looks like for you and restrain yourself from doing too much of anything beyond that level of balance. Money habit number 5, decrease your largest expense, taxes. The wealthy understand that the largest expense they will pay in their lifetime is taxes, not their personal residence, not their dream car, or even their education, but taxes. Federal income taxes, state income taxes, property taxes, capital gains taxes, corporate taxes, and so on. All of these taxes subtract from your wealth. But the good news is that the government allows you to reduce your taxes through incentives baked into the tax code. And these incentives can provide tax savings that can be reinvested in your business, real estate projects, stock portfolios, or other types of investment vehicles. For example, if you are able to cut your tax expenses by $10,000 each year and invested it instead, you would have nearly $1.6 million in 30 years with a 10% rate of return. And if you are interested in learning more about all of the different ways you can save on taxes, then just make sure you are subscribed to our channel. We have over 200 videos here that can help you. Money habit number 6, track your spending. If you do not know where your money is going every month, it will be very difficult to improve your money situation. Therefore, if you want to increase the amount of money you have, you will need to get into the habit of tracking your spending. This is best accomplished by establishing a budget, which is just a spending plan for your money. And in order to create this spending plan, you need to know how your money is currently being spent. You have to look yourself in the mirror first before you start creating any type of plan. And you can easily track your spending by using a free application like mint.com, which is just a free app that helps you manage your money. All you have to do is sync your bank accounts and it will automatically start categorizing your transactions for you. It even has a budget tool that you can use to create your budget based on how you are currently spending your money. But whether you use an application, a spreadsheet, or a piece of paper, it is important that you get into the habit of tracking your spending, managing your spending plan, and measuring your actual performance against that spending plan. Money habit number 7, invest in your well-being. Investing to build wealth is very important, but it is also very important that you take care of yourself. Investing in your own well-being will only increase your productivity even more and expedite your progress to building wealth. For example, investing in your fitness, nutrition, mental health, or spiritual well-being may lead to more happiness and personal enjoyment in your life, which will make the heavy lifting of working just a little bit lighter. Notice that nothing I mentioned in this video asks you to do anything extreme, like starving yourself of sleep, buying a new car, taking vacations, or just enjoying a good meal. There is nothing wrong with spending money on yourself as long as you are prioritizing investing and following a spending plan that makes sense for you to build wealth. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching.